It sounded way too simple to work. 2 minutes a day? That's not a habit, that's a joke. But I tried it. And 90 days later, that 2-minute window, it's now the most powerful part of my day. It rewired how I think, how I work, even how I deal with stress. You'll see why in a second. Let me guess. You've tried journaling, you've tried meditation, you've even downloaded those Life OS apps, right? But they all end the same way. It's too much, it takes too long, you skip one day, and suddenly it's 3 weeks later and you're mad at yourself. That was me. I was running 2 companies, filming content, trying to stay in shape and still be a decent human. My days looked productive on paper, meetings, projects, workouts, all the checkboxes ticked. But inside, it felt like I was surviving, not living. And every time I'd try to slow down and reflect, journal, meditate, just breathe, it became another item on the to-do list. One morning, I was standing alone in the kitchen, barefoot, on the cold tile floor. The sun was barely up, and the house was completely quiet. It should have felt calm, but my head was already racing with emails, deadlines, and unfinished thoughts. And I caught myself thinking, I don't have 15 minutes for reflection right now. So I'd skip it, and then I'd feel stuck in my head, in my habits, in my energy, always thinking, never integrating. The worst part, I knew this stuff was good for me. I wanted to build a deeper connection to my days, but the pressure to do it right was killing it before it even began. Rinse, repeat. That same morning, standing there in the kitchen, I leaned against the counter, looked at the fridge door, and just sighed. Not a dramatic movie moment kind of sigh, the quiet kind, the kind that says, I'm tired and I don't even know why. And then this idea popped into my head. What if I just did one thing for 2 minutes, no rules, no pressure? Not a perfect morning routine, not some optimized productivity hack, just a pause, 2 minutes of something small that grounded me. So I opened the Notes app on my phone and typed a single question. What actually matters today? That's it. No structure, no prompts, just that. Some days the answer surprised me. Don't interrupt your team. Let them figure it out. Say no to that thing you don't want to do. Drink water before your 3rd coffee. And others, it was obvious. Call your brother. Move your body. Finish that hard thing you've been avoiding. It was never deep. It was never impressive, but it was mine. And for the first time in months, it felt like I was actually talking to myself instead of performing some ideal version of me. That 2-minute pause became an anchor, a pattern interrupt. It didn't change my life overnight, but it cracked the door open. And what came after, I never saw coming. At first, it felt like nothing had changed. I was still running around, still chasing goals, still tired, still wired. But something subtle had shifted. That 2-minute habit, the one I didn't take seriously at first, started to leave a trail. I'd be mid-meeting, and a sentence from my morning check-in would flash through my mind. Something simple like, stay curious. And instead of jumping in to control things, I'd pause, listen more, react less. Other days, I'd catch myself spiraling, overthinking, grinding through. And then that quiet voice would cut through. You said today was about patience, or so act like it. That tiny act of remembering what mattered, it recentered me. Within a couple weeks, something wild happened. I started craving the 2 minutes. It was like my mind knew there was gold waiting on the other side of that pause. I began waking up a little earlier, not because I had to, but because I wanted space to think before the world rushed in. 2 minutes turned into 5, then 10. One day, I found myself standing on the deck behind my house, phone still in hand, just breathing and watching the trees. I'd write whatever came up, a reminder, a commitment, a single word like presence. Sometimes I'd sit on the tailgate of my truck after a grocery run and just take the pause there, because the habit had stopped being a morning routine. It became portable. It moved with me. My wife noticed, my team noticed, I noticed. I was calmer, more decisive, less reactive. The pressure cooker didn't disappear, but I stopped boiling over. And that's the beauty of it. I didn't redesign my entire life. I didn't download a new app. I didn't go off grid in the mountains. I just gave myself 2 minutes every day to remember who I am and what actually matters. That's when everything started to change. Not all at once, but from the inside out. If there's one thing I've learned from all of this, it's that change doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It just has to be real and consistent. That's what those 2 minutes gave me, not a system, not a strategy, just a space to come back to myself. So here's my challenge to you. Tomorrow morning, before you scroll, before the news, before the inbox, ask yourself one question. What actually matters today? No timer, no pressure, no performance, just 2 minutes, and your honest answer. Then see what happens. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need a pause. Because that pause, that tiny reset, could be the start of something way bigger than you think. And if you try this, drop a comment. Let me know what came up for you. Seriously, I read every single one. We're all figuring this out together, one small moment at a time.